Usually, the man wouldn't even spare $5 for a pack of cigarettes. But today, he was uncharacteristically generous. After trying on a well-fitted suit, he decided to buy it on the spot. However, the suit cost a staggering 2 months' worth of the family's living expenses. His wife hurriedly urged him to take it off. But oddly enough, her typically frugal husband seemed like a completely different person and refused to budge. It never crossed the woman's mind that the man standing before her wasn't actually her real husband. 13 years ago, when Jack was about to leave for London to further his studies, his girlfriend Amy begged him not to go. But this was Jack's once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change his life, and he didn't want to let it slip away. He simply promised Amy that he would definitely return, then turned around and boarded the plane. Little did he know that 13 years later, he would be accompanied by a different temporary girlfriend. You see, after arriving in London, Jack had worked his way up over the years and had become a financial tycoon with billions in assets. His clothes were all custom-made, and his luxury car was a limited edition Ferrari. All these years, he had been so focused on making money that he never once contacted Amy. He believed that money was far more tangible than love. However, on that fateful Christmas day, his life was about to be turned upside down. He happened to enter a convenience store, but right after he stepped in, a black man came in behind him to cash in a lottery ticket. The man claimed he had won $238. But the store owner didn't even bother to look and insisted that he had altered the numbers.
Yo, Buster, check the ticket, son. Check the ticket.
Yo, you get out.
Check the ticket, stupid.
To prevent a tragedy from unfolding, Jack, who was standing nearby, stepped in without hesitation. He offered to buy the lottery ticket for $200. The black man thought it was a reasonable offer and agreed to the deal.
Come on, Jack, let's get out of here.
But how did the black man know his name when they had never met before? The man didn't answer Jack's question and instead asked if Jack needed any help. This left Jack momentarily stunned because his life was already affluent enough, and he had never thought there would come a day when he would need someone else's help.
You just remember that you did this, Jack, okay?
Jack didn't understand why the man would say such things. When he returned home, he didn't give it much thought and fell asleep as usual. But when he woke up the next day, he found himself lying on an unfamiliar bed with a blonde woman nestled on his chest.
10 more minutes, Jack.
Hearing such a familiar voice, he was curious to see who this person was. But before he could get a good look at her face, he heard footsteps coming from the doorway. A little girl walked over and placed her younger brother directly on their bed. What surprised him even more was that the girl called him Daddy. Jack was instantly startled and hurriedly got up. In the midst of the confusion, he recognized his ex-girlfriend Amy. Still, he couldn't control himself and ran downstairs. But the scene before him left him stunned once again. The bustling city had turned into a remote small town, and his Ferrari had become a dilapidated van. He rushed off to New York and arrived at his own house. But the butler at the door wouldn't let him in and even mocked him, saying this wasn't a place he could enter. Just then, a neighbor happened to walk by, but the woman had a look of disdain on her face.
Are you smacked out of your head? I'm the richest man in this building! Not cool!
He then drove to his company, only to discover that the general manager's name had been replaced by one of his subordinates. Jack was instantly dumbfounded.